Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading I want to read on whether or not there will be a federal response to the Voting Rights Act, because it's just, there's so much of a struggle going on. And I keep hearing this song, it's like stuck in my brain. It kept filtering in throughout the day, you know, driving me nuts in my meditations. And then when I woke up to it, you know what I mean? That's crazy. When you wake up hearing something, that's obviously guidance, because that's how my channel works. I kept hearing David Bowie's Suffragette City. So, you know, like an idiot, I go and Google the lyrics and read all the lyrics and think, oh, there's got to be a message in the lyrics. No. Not even, I didn't even need the name city. What I needed was the suffragette movement. That's why that song came into my channel. That's what my guides are trying to help me, you know, focus on. So next, I'm watching Rachel Maddow. I always watch her in the morning because I just can't take in all that information at night usually. It's rare, but sometimes I can, but not usually. So anyway, watching Rachel Maddow's show, and she has this gal on, her name's Mackenzie, I think Mackenzie Jenkins, I think was her name. And she was one of the Texas voters who went with you know, the Democrats, the Texas Democrats, to D.C. Left Texas so that they couldn't vote to do their dirty deed, and then you know, came to D.C. and Rachel interviewed her, and she said she said it for me. She said she was that was one of her assignments in her college sorority, was to march on the suffragette movement. Of course, not back in 1913, but it was to do that same march that the suffragettes did. So, it's the suffragettes. And it's not just the suffragettes, with women trying to get the right to vote. It's also these eons of oppression over people of color. And so it's not just the feminine, it's people of color of all walks of life. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're considered, you know, Native American or Black American, African American, or Chinese, or any other Asian Pacific Islander. This even drops into, of course, all LGBTQ rights, just all rights where there has been oppression. So I'm going to read to see, like I said in the beginning, long story here, long story. I'm going to read to see if there will ever be, and if so when, a federal response to protect these voting rights, because it's obvious that it needs to happen. At least that's how I'm getting it. So, okay, let me drop the camera down and I'll get started. Okay, so I'm using this deck, Radiant Wise Spirit, and we allow for reversals here. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, will there be a federal response to support voting rights? I mean, didn't we already have the Voting Rights Act? I think wasn't it the John Lewis Voting Rights Act back in 1965? And somehow or another, that got squashed, taken away somehow, or parts of it maybe. I think it was parts of it. Oh, but yeah, I was feeling before, this is just a huge level of oppression that needs to change. And if it can't happen through Congress, can there be a federal response? Will Biden do something? Can there be, yeah, let's just see. What are the possibilities there? Will that happen? And then timing is always, the challenge. Okay, so the force is in motion. Hey. Well, okay. Eight of Swords reversed. Biggest challenge is the Queen of Swords reversed. Oh, yeah. That makes perfect sense. So I'll dive into that more, but let's just do, or I'll dive into that in a moment. Oops, hold on. Let's just do 5 cards up here, I think should give us, yeah. But let's see the future. Okay. Will there be a federal response? Okay. I may have to use a different system to get, well, I don't know. We've got quite a bit here. Doesn't look good. But what we do have here with this Eight of Swords reversed, we have people feeling that they really want to get out of being held, and bound to other people's rules. The Eight of Swords reversed is all about treachery, just people being treacherous. Ugh. And it's, it's a card where there's a lot of opposition. So this tells me that there is a lot of opposition to having it being a federal response. And then the biggest challenge with the Queen of Swords reversed is that people are just cold-hearted, cold-hearted, and dishonest, and ruthless. And then also, on some level, other people can be pessimistic. And that, because we do create our own reality. So if we're pessimistic about anything ever changing, then that's what we can create. And it doesn't need to be that way. So, we have to be really careful with these things. We have to be careful about our beliefs and putting, well, actually, what we really need to do is just be conscious, be consciously aware of our false beliefs, and then we can turn it around, because it's our unconscious that causes all the problems. That's why, it's that old Carl Jung quote that's something like, oh goodness, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So this is, needing to unravel what seemed to be fated. And all we have to do is become aware of our false beliefs, and then, that unconsciousness doesn't control us anymore, because we can work with it and turn it around. But meanwhile, the GOP is holding on for dear life. And they don't care about anyone else. They want to possess, America. And this isn't just them. These are all the greedy backers. These are the Koch brothers. These are, Citizens United. The Heritage Action, it was a Heritage Foundation, but now there's, I guess, some new Heritage Action Pact or something like that. Action Network, maybe. I forget. And Sheldon Whitehouse is working hard to dismantle all of that. But this is so kind of like past, present, future. This is what's been happening. So they're holding on out of greed. And they're bound in their just materialistic ways. And they're trying to protect themselves. Now, with the Two of Swords reversed in here, that brings in that element of lies coming through, like lies being exposed. Because to just keep working with these guys, it's not going to get us anywhere. you know, but the lies will come out the more we try to, you know, work with them. Then I guess things will be exposed. But these are, you know, the Two of Swords is about disloyalty and duplicity, and it can sometimes be a release. There's that possibility that there's a release. You know, when the Two of Swords is straight up, it's a crossroads. You know, the challenge is to make a decision and not block your feelings and face your fears and go in the right direction. When it's reversed, sometimes it can be that the fears are even worse. Well, yeah, we do need to be afraid of being oppressed. We need to fight against oppression. And sometimes there's not a perfect choice, but you just have to go with what you have and not be confused about it anymore. So exposing the greedy people's lies, that's really, really important for that to happen, because that will create the movement, the release in the movement. But now moving forward, the Page of Pentacles can definitely be about the new vote, because pages bring in messages. Let me grab my chopstick here. Pentacles, we're in the realm of, you know, paper ballots. We're in the realm of, you know, anything that we can resource in. So this can be new resources, but it can also be studying. The pages are, you know, very studious. But being the major theme here, the center card I always choose as the theme, this is very ambitious, and it's an opportunity, and it's a goal. So, but then further on, I guess the goal, so here's the major goal, you know, to break away from this restriction, break away from this cold-hearted greed and oppression. This is what all these cards are all about. Expose the lies, expose the greed and the oppression. And that is happening. And then the Knight of Cups reversed comes in the future, but it's, you know, that's disappointing. It's heartbreaking and it's cheating. But maybe this is what's going to be exposed, the cheaters. And then we have the Queen of Cups, both of these cards here. Wow. This card, I feel it mostly that it's about unfaithfulness. Unfaithfulness. So let's do it this way. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of the tarot. I'm not sure. Might have to go to a different system. But let's see if we can. Let's do some more. Let's get some more cards into the future here. So hold on. Give me a moment. Let's see. Sure everything's in frame. Yeah, we're good there. Okay. So let's look at the future. I need to put a time frame on it though. And something needs to change, right away. And of course it's different in every state, but in these swing states like Texas and Florida and Arizona and they can really mess us up. And why is it always, it's always the South with the old slave masters, right? Ugh. Okay, but looking forward into the future, and I'm gonna, let's do a little bit into the, midterms, 2022, and bring it into 2024, and I'll cap it off at the 2024. What can be accomplished by then to restore voting rights? And will there be a federal response that comes through? Because there's no other way. Let's see, is that what needs to happen? Is that what will happen? So let's go here. Okay. And then I'll do 4 cards for the future. Interesting. All right. Well, we don't have the Justice card. The Justice card didn't come through. But what we have here, so a little more information as to the disappointment and the disloyalty. So with the disappointment, it has to do, when the sun comes through reversed, that has to do with feeling depressed. And it's all about, inaction and failure. It's a card of failure. So I think that this is going to be the failure of the states to handle it the right way on their own, of course. And then the disloyalty to our homeland. The 4 of Wands reversed to me is about arguments, just constantly arguing, and conflicts. And of course, in the context of this topic, it would be our homeland. But then moving forward into the future, so maybe 2022 and 2024, with the 3 of Swords reversed, there is some healing, possibly some healing and some optimism coming in some type of, some type of situation where the swords can fall out, where there's not so much of a betrayal, and then things move really quickly. The 8 of Wands can possibly be, each one of these wands can be new laws enacted, or there can be like maybe 8 different states where things are suddenly changed. And that's because we're looking at what is it that we really want. The 7 of Cups is always about knowing that you have options and choosing the best of those options. It is a card where there's a sense of purpose. It's a card of opportunities. And it's sometimes a card of an emotional test, because they're all cups. Right? Like, do we want to stick with the greedy old geezers? These 2 cards are mirroring each other. The greedy old geezers who want to just have control and power and have all the victory and all the glory, and they don't care about anyone else. Stay in their castle. Or are we going to fight? Because there's a lot of hard work here with the 8 of Pentacles. There's a lot of hard work to get past the disloyalty. Yeah. Okay, so I would say our work is cut out for us. This takes us into, the USA's Pluto return, right? It's coming in 2022, where Pluto returns to, I think it's 27 degrees Capricorn, where it was when the USA, if you go by the Sibley chart, the Declaration of Independence, being signed. So it's all about, the transformation of the soul of America and how we use our power. And will the power be with the democratic majority of the people, or with the power grab of the old slave masters, who have reincarnated in the likes of Mitch McConnell and Ron Johnson and so many others? And now they're all, now those idiots are all slave masters to Putin. They're all bought and paid for by Russian oligarchs, so there's that. But Pluto purges. Pluto is all about power and empowerment. And it purges things that were previously hidden, which we've all seen while Pluto's been in Capricorn, since I think it was 2008 when it first started that transit. And everything's come up and up and up and up. And all the, I truly believe that all the corruption was already there It was already there. But now we can see it. Now I can see it. I can totally now see it. I'm actually trying to figure out if this is the right deck. Yeah, let's do this, but I do need to drop the camera down because these cards are quite small. Hold on. Okay, bear with me for a moment while I get the cards shuffled, because I'm looking for timing with this deck, if that's possible. Well, I'm looking for the same, I'm going to ask the same question, and it's this deck here, if you haven't seen it before, the Maybe Lenormand by Ryan Edward. It's a combo. He calls it the Maybe because it's not totally Lenormand. It's a combo between Gypsy and the Lenormand. So there's 52 cards rather than the 36 traditionally. Okay, so will there be a federal response to support voting rights? And if so, how long will it take? If I can get timing with this deck. Will there be a federal response? Okay. Hold on, I need to change this viewfinder. Too much of a glare there. Okay. So for a theme here, we have the ring and the clover. So there's a commitment and opportunity. And it knights up here to the tree. So this literally is the system, our voting system. It's the DNA. It's the roots. It's our ancestry. It's the roots of of America. It's our voting system. And so this might have to do with our two-party system. And then the Sun card reveals. So what I'm doing is I'm knighting this opportunity card here. I'm knighting the clover, which is all about happy outcomes, and opportunities, unless there's negative cards around it. And of course we have the illness card here. We have COVID. I think this is what this is about with this combo here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Remember, we had many paper ballots and mail-in ballots because of COVID that we wouldn't have had if we didn't have COVID. That's one of them. That's just one of the challenging ways to receive a gift. This might also be that it's 2022. That there's a recovery. Well, yeah, it can be it can be an opportunity more than a recovery. If I had the flowers here, I would say recovery, but there's a lot of talk about the opportunities, and this is all out in the public, interactions with the public, and I think it's about the way we vote. The Sun is a very successful card. So knighting the the opportunities to success and to all the branches of our government. So I guess in summary with these three cards, it would be there's an analysis as to opportunities to create success for the voting rights. but there's still a lot of hard work involved. You know, there's just a lot of repetition and hard work with the whip card. But it is a card of getting things done. You know, it's a card of arguing and debating, but it's getting things done as well. So there's the commitment to not let this go. That's a good thing. It's not going to be just glazed over and let go. It's going to be worked hard at. Now, with this eye, you know, there's a watching. They're watching it. We're all watching who's talking about it and what they're saying. And we're all watching 45 still, and his impulsiveness and his recklessness and what he did with COVID. But I feel because his card's down here, the power of the people, I just heard the power of the people have much more strength than he does. Of course, we voted him out, of course. And on another level, I mean, you know, this is just common sense, but I'm being reminded of how oppression pisses people off and gets them to the voting booth or gets them to vote in whatever way, shape, or form they can, and they will. And that is what got this idiot out, right? We have to remember that our system, no matter how messed up it is right now, was used to get him out. But anyway, so mirroring, yeah, and it's just going to piss, more people are going to be energized and pissed off to vote, and they will be watching. And we're all connected on social media, so it's beautiful. But so what I'm getting here is, and the sun card can sometimes be a year, but it can also be summertime. We're already in summertime, but next time, we're just going to keep, I don't think I have timing coming through here. I think what I really have is just the success. There's enlightenment. There's accomplishment. So the system, the soul of America, the karma of America, the life force of America, the brain and what we invest in will prove to be successful. There's going to be a lot of talk about it, lots and lots of talk about it, and there will be a commitment to improve things, to create a happy outcome, and to create a happy outcome. And then I get that there's going to be lots of work to get vaccinated. That, to me, this card is like a shot in the arm. To get vaccinated, we need a vaccine against the craziness of Trump, right? Can there ever be a vaccine created against cult leaders? Oh my God, just give him the shot. But anyway, so there's going to be lots of repetitive work with the vaccine that I think is probably going to help, but also the need for paper ballots and voting from what do you call it, like absentee ballot, the way he voted, even though he didn't want it out there for anyone else, but he voted in Florida absentee ballot. But so anyway, lots of work to do that. That's still going to be going on. And then there's going to be, so besides COVID, it's going to be lots of watching 45. Watching 45. So let me add another layer. And then I'll close this up for now. So we can always revisit it later. But man, we are up against it. Okay. Oh. Let's do it this way. I've got plenty of room up here. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so the opportunity here, of course, is to continue to nurture and keep warm, you know, the strength of America. The Biden administration will keep, the Biden administration will, you know, I don't have the tower, the little tower to show that it would be a federal response, but I do see that the Biden administration will keep working. And this could also be the foundation of America, the soul of America, the like body and soul of America is what the house card's all about in the context of this question. If it's a personal reading, this would be your family, your body and soul, your foundation of your life. But this is America, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to keep nurturing the situation and fighting against the betrayal of 45, and then something suddenly is going to break through. There's going to be something suddenly that breaks through and helps with the enlightenment. If we bring these two cards together here, really brings in the enlightenment. So something will break through. But the battle is going to be, you know, people talking. It's going to be the greedy grifters that just want to suck up all the energy in America and get what they want. But we will be seeing all of that. They will continue to reveal who they truly are, and then we know how to vote accordingly. But basically, you know, the way it stands now, I think that, what do we have? 3 good Republicans, if you want to call them good. Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, and what's that guy? Adam Kinzinger or something like that. Kinzinger or Kinzinger, I don't know. Something like that. So anyway, I'm going to close this up for now, and of course we can revisit it later, but it looks to me like that, you know, we're going to be battling still. I can't say for sure that I see a federal response. I just, I mean, this is a yes card. If there's any yes card, that would be it. There's a commitment. You know what? Maybe there is. Maybe there is a federal response that comes through suddenly because they can't see any other way. Absolutely, that's right. It's right here. There has to be yes. Yes, they will fight. Yes, there will be, I believe, a federal response. But it will come through suddenly after quite a bit of a fight because they just can't find any other way to have justice be served. But right now, and all throughout, you know, between now and 2024, if he lives that long, there's a lot of attention sucked up by this monster, you know. The tree card can sometimes just suck up all the energy. And that's what's been happening in the past. You know, there's this like sucking sound, whatever, you know. He's sucking it all up by, you know, all the things that he says. And the Republican Party, they don't think they have anything better. But yeah, so there's strength that comes through after a fight. And something suddenly breaks through the betrayal of the past. But there's a nurturing of our government, keeping the flame going. Don't give up. So, okay, that's it. I'm definitely stopping. Thanks, you guys. I hope everyone's well. Sending you lots of love and hugs. Take good care. Bye.